go on in and smash that thumbs up icon if you like Seattle Seahawks victories, just like we do here on Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and boy, oh boy, does it feel good to be making a video on a Sunday night talking about the Seahawks, talking about the Seahawks winning and winning a game that you absolutely had to have down in Jacksonville. Seahawks get the 120-12 in this one. And honestly, after going through, doing some more research, not just going off my instant gut reaction, there are a multitude of reasons why the Seattle Seahawks won this game, and I want to make sure that I'm able to get those reasons out to you, the people. If you watch my instant reaction video, it's going to be a little bit more detailed, and there's going to be some new things that I saw later on after the fact that gave the Seahawks the victory, so you're going to want to make sure that you stick around. Now, when I go through my 4 reasons why the Seattle Seahawks won this game, I think the most important number one reason is because of how scary this front 7 is. And what I'm talking about is your 3 down defensive linemen. They call the outside linebackers stand-ups. That gets you to 5. And then what you got going there at that linebacker spot in the middle between Ernest Jones and Drake Thomas and Tyrese Knight. Man, it's elite right now. And you got the return of a player that, frankly, you really missed last week against Tampa Bay, and that's DeMarcus Lawrence. The amount of Lawrence on Lawrence crime in this game was unbelievable. DeMarcus Lawrence was unblockable. After the first 2 series, it felt like he got his feet underneath him. I mean, he was in the backfield constantly, multiple sacks in this game, multiple QB hits in this one. He also caused a lot of pressure for your Seattle Seahawks. This is a little-known fact. Trevor Lawrence faced the most amount of quarterback pressures in an NFL game this season, and it's because of what DeMarcus Lawrence and the rest of this crew that I'm going to bring up was doing. If you go through and you look at what my man Uchenna Nwosu was doing, he was building off of what he has been all season long. Basically, since he got his feet wet first couple of games, you could tell he's working his way back in, getting where he needs to be. Uchenna Nwosu has been a force to be reckoned with. He has 1.5 sacks in this one against the Arizona Cardinals, was his top sack-getting game. So he's already over his mark that he had last year for sacks. Kid's an absolute animal. He's been playing really well. When you have your 2 veteran outside edges in your type of defense that Mike Macdonald wants to run, getting in, making big-time plays, making big-time stops, you got a special crew. You got a special crew in Seattle. And now, I mean, honestly, this is the piece de resistance. When you talk about good defenses, basically since the 2016 mark, you're talking about the LA Rams with Aaron Darnold, or you're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs with Chris Jones. What are they getting? They're getting pressure up the middle. I mean, shoot, even during your Super Bowl year, you were getting pressure from guys like Red Bryant, Michael Bennett when he'd bounce inside, Cliff Averill when he'd bounce inside. When the Seahawks are getting defensive pressure from their nose guards, defensive tackles, it's a special, special crew. Byron Murphy already has multiple sacks on the year. He's added 2 after this one. I believe the number puts him now at 4.5, 5 sacks on the year. He's already doubled the amount of sacks that he had the previous season. I've been very impressed with Byron Murphy. He is a star in this league, and he's a star on the interior. You can see just what they did to this Jaguars defense. Look, it's not one of the better defenses better offenses in the NFL, but frankly, they're a decent offense down in Jacksonville, and they can run the football at a highly effective rate. I mean, going into this game, Travis Etienne Jr. was averaging 5.8 a clip. You held Jacksonville down to 3.1 yards by yourself. Trevor Lawrence had 214 yards in this game. Well, really, when you look at his real stats, Trevor Lawrence threw for, it's close to 250. He lost that many yards in sack yardage in this game. That's because your defensive front 7 was just getting after the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line and Trevor Lawrence. And if he doesn't make some of the great plays that Trevor Lawrence makes, shoot, you might have ended up having 10 sacks in this one. The next reason why I think that Seattle won this game, in fact, why I know, is Jaxon Smith-Njigba, man. That guy deserves his own line all by himself. He's been unguardable this year. He has been unguardable, and he just continues to build on what he has been doing in his last couple of games. Going into this one, he was 12 for 14 in his last 14 games when it came to gaining 70 yards receiving or more. He went right past it. He had over 100 yards in this game, flying around, making plays. Jacksonville continued to make stupid decisions, like putting him in single coverage. You've seen what he can do against single coverage all year long. It's not a secret. PFF put out this great graphic. He's number 1 in the NFL when it comes to receiving grade, when it comes to, hey, you have one guy over the top of you trying to stop you. He had, going into this game, over 392 yards. It's more than that now. Just go look at that Greg Newsome touchdown. By the way, I said he shouldn't play in this one. He did. He gave up a big-time Jaxon Smith-Njigba touchdown. Will knows ball. 16 first downs on the season. That number is going to be even higher after how well he played in this one. You just have a special wide receiver in Jaxon Smith-Njigba. A lot of people were worried. Should Seattle move on from DK Metcalf? DK Metcalf's a true one. Is Jaxon Smith-Njigba going to be there, or is he a better 2? Is he a better Robin to somebody else's Batman? Tell you right frickin' now, he ain't Robin to anybody. Jaxon Smith-Njigba is the best wide receiver in 2025. I do not care what Puka Nakua's numbers are. Jaxon Smith-Njigba is doing this all by himself and then opening up everything else for everyone else. I think if Sam Darnold wanted to be selfish, Jaxon Smith-Njigba wanted to be selfish, they'd just continue to throw the football to him over and over and over again. I don't care if other teams put 5 guys on him. I still think he'd catch the ball every time. But he's not selfish because he wants other guys to have the ball in this offense as well. I've been over the moon. And honestly, what's crazy is he had 160, probably could have had 180. He just dropped a ball, and he'd be the first one to tell you that. You got a special receiver out in Seattle. Go show the kid some love. Go into the comment section right now. Spam 11. Show our wide receiver that we know he isn't wide receiver 11 in the NFL. He's wide receiver number 1. You got a special crew, man. You got a special crew of receivers. You can look here through his stat line. I mean, shoot. 162, I told you, he dropped a third down ball that really should have put him at 182. He's been that impressive. Another reason why Seattle won is Sam Darnold. It's no secret. I took some hate for some of the comments that I had about Sam Darnold the other week. Just was what it was, man. I wasn't thrilled about a late game interception. It wasn't all his fault, and frankly, people who thought I just went out and said it was all his fault should have been upset with me. I think if you would have done more research, you would have realized that that's not what I said. But man, Sam Darnold showed that he isn't rattled early. He isn't rattled easily. He makes plays. He's not afraid to throw the ball in the pocket, stand tall, find open receivers. I mean, shoot, I was very, very impressed with Jacksonville's ability on that defensive line to create some pressure on Sam Darnold. And he didn't care, man. He did not care. He didn't care that there was a late interception in the last game. He still kept slinging it. Didn't turn the ball over in this one. Almost had 300 yards passing. Again, look, the completion percentage is a little bit lower than what it has been in the past. I mean, he was basically 70% on the year, maybe even a little bit more. It's a little down in this game. I don't care, man. He found open receivers. He hit them in stride. There weren't bad balls. There weren't balls that got thrown where it's like, oh, that's way behind the receiver. Oh, that's in a spot where it's uncatchable. It was either catchable for his guy or it wasn't catchable for anybody. I was very impressed with Sam Darnold going out there, lighting it up. And let's be honest, he wasn't getting help. You go look at this offensive stat line right now for your Seattle Seahawks. Look at the rushing stats. 2.3 yards a carry. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker were not getting it done. And so you had to lean on that passing attack. It was all that you had. You had to trust Sam Darnold to get you into the right spot. You had to trust Sam Darnold to push you to victory. Shoot, he did, man. He really did. I was very impressed with Sam Darnold. Finding not just Jaxon Smith-Njigba, but Cooper Kupp, A.J. Barner for a big catch as well, Elijah Arroyo a couple times. You got a special one in Seattle, man. You got a special QB. You got an even more special wide receiver. I got one last reason on why the Seattle Seahawks got the victory in this one, but before I tell you about that, I got to talk to you about my good friends over at PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you could cash in. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long. You can see my 2-pick power play for the games this Sunday. Sam Darnold more on his passing yards. Daniel Jones more on his passing yards as well. Think that went okay for me. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. The last reason why you won this game, man, is coaching. Now, it wasn't a perfect showing. I think if you go through every single player's stat line, I think even some of the guys who absolutely balled the you-know-what out, there were mistakes. There were mistakes by this coaching staff. But I think that Mike Macdonald and his crew defensively had a clear game plan to stop the Jaguars offensively, and they executed it to perfection. I think that when you look at this Seahawks defensive line unit, they knew where to attack the offensive line of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They knew how to force Jacksonville into multiple difficult third and fourth down situations. I was very impressed where when Seattle needed a stop, they got it. The Jaguars struggled, man. They struggled. They were 4 for 16 on third down. It was even worse on fourth down. They only had 214 yards passing in this game. Jacksonville could not get anything going offensively. They were known for having this great rushing attack. Where was it? I didn't see it. Travis Etienne Jr. wasn't all that good to me. Seattle came loaded for bear, man. And what I mean by that is they were ready to go to war in the trenches. They were ready to attack this Jacksonville Jaguars team because they knew they had to win that way. Were there mistakes? Of course. Of course there were mistakes. But defensively, you brought blitzes when you needed to bring blitzes, and that got home to Trevor Lawrence. You trusted your guys by just rushing 4 when you needed to trust your guys. I think it was a perfect game plan executed to the utmost perfection by your Seattle Seahawks. These are my reasons on why the Seahawks won today. They balled out. That front seven is scary nasty when they're close to 100%. Imagine what they're going to be when they get Derek Hall back. Jaxon Smith-Njigba might be, and frankly in my eyes, is the best wide receiver in the NFL. And Sam Darnold, man, special QB, doing the right things. You got the right coaching staff in Seattle. You're in a very, very good spot. Make sure, like I said, you go in and you like the video. Thank you so much. We like having victories here on Seahawks Today. You like having victories on Seahawks Today. Smash that like button. And while you're there, if you're not subscribed, you might as well smash that button as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time.